My friends, today I want to speak about a truth that may sound harsh, but it carries the strength of wisdom. A strong man would rather walk alone than sit among false friends. In the philosophy of Stoicism, we are taught that the company we keep shapes our character. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher, king of Rome, once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And where do those thoughts come from? They are influenced by those around us. If the men beside you are dishonest, jealous, or empty, their poison will eventually stain your spirit. Fake friends smile in your presence but secretly envy your rise. They cheer your success only when it does not surpass their own. They offer comfort with their words but abandon you in your struggle. Why should a man waste his strength in such company? A strong man, guided by reason, understands that loneliness with dignity is better than companionship with betrayal. Stoicism teaches us the value of self-sufficiency. We cannot control the loyalty of others, but we can control our own integrity. To sit in solitude is not weakness. It is training of the soul, for in silence a man confronts himself, he learns discipline. He sharpens his mind. He builds a fortress within that no false friend can break. Yes, loneliness can feel heavy, but the Stoic knows that true peace does not come from the crowd. It comes from harmony between one's actions and one's principles. When you walk alone with virtue, you are never truly alone. You walk with wisdom, with courage, with justice, and with self-control. Fake friends corrupt character, just as Marcus Aurelius said, the soul is colored by the thoughts and influence of those around us. Fake friends bring envy, betrayal, and weakness. Fake friends are not just a waste of time, they are a danger to the soul. A man's character is deeply shaped by those he allows into his circle. If he surrounds himself with people who envy him, betray him, or secretly hope for his downfall, he unknowingly absorbs their poison. Their words may seem harmless, their smiles convincing, but their influence slowly eats away at his peace and clarity. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the soul takes on the color of its thoughts, and thoughts are often born from conversations and relationships. If your conversations are full of gossip, deceit, or shallow distractions, then your spirit becomes stained with the same. That is why strong men are careful about their company. They do not crave a crowd for validation, nor do they measure themselves by how many sit beside them. Instead, they measure by the quality of those around them. They understand that one genuine ally is more valuable than 100 false companions. And if no such ally is found, then walking alone is the wiser choice. For solitude keeps a man pure. While fake friends drag him into corruption, he may not even see until it's too late. Loneliness is better than betrayal. A strong man chooses solitude with dignity over companionship filled with dishonesty and disloyalty. Loneliness has often been seen as a weakness, but for a strong man, it becomes a choice of honor. To sit among false friends is to accept betrayal as company, and no wise man would trade his peace for such misery. Fake friends do not truly celebrate your victories. They measure them against their own and secretly hope for your failure. They are present in times of laughter but vanish when storms arrive. A man who understands this does not cling to empty companionship. He knows that loneliness with dignity is a higher state than friendship built on lies. In solitude, he may feel the absence of voices, but he does not feel the sting of betrayal. Every moment he spends alone is a moment preserved from deceit and envy. Choosing loneliness is not a retreat from life, but a decision to protect one's integrity and inner strength. The Stoic mindset teaches that our happiness should not depend on others, but on our own reason and virtue. So a strong man, guided by Stoic wisdom, prefers the silence of solitude over the noise of false friendship. He knows that betrayal is a heavier burden than loneliness will ever be. Stoicism values self-sufficiency. We cannot control the loyalty of others, but we can control our integrity, discipline, and mindset. Stoicism reminds us that the only true control we have is over our own thoughts, choices, and actions. We cannot force others to be loyal, honest, or supportive, but we can choose how we respond to their behavior. A strong man does not waste his strength trying to change the nature of others. Instead, he focuses on what lies within his power, his integrity, his discipline, and his inner peace. Self-sufficiency is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. It teaches that real freedom is not found in depending on the approval or companionship of others, but in standing firm in one's own virtue. When a man learns to live content with himself, he becomes unshakable. No false friend can distract him, no betrayal can destroy him, because he has built his foundation on his own character. This is why strong men are often misunderstood. To the world, their solitude may look like pride or coldness, but in truth it is wisdom. They are not rejecting people, they are rejecting corruption. By choosing self-sufficiency, they rise above the weakness of needing constant company. Their strength lies in knowing that everything essential for peace and happiness already lives within their own control. Solitude builds inner strength in silence. A man sharpens his mind, confronts himself, and becomes unshakable in virtue. Solitude is often feared because people mistake silence for emptiness. But for a strong man, solitude is a forge where inner strength is shaped. When he walks alone, he is not abandoned. He is training his mind to stand firm without the support of the crowd. In those quiet hours, he confronts his own thoughts, examines his choices, and learns to master his emotions. Where others are distracted by noise and shallow company, he sharpens his focus. He begins to see himself clearly, without the masks he might wear in front of others. This self-awareness is a source of power, because a man who understands himself cannot be easily deceived or shaken. In solitude, discipline grows. He learns to manage his desires, to endure discomfort, and to rely on reason rather than impulse. The Stoics believed that true strength is not tested in the presence of applause, but in the silence of one's own soul. When no one is watching, the strong man still practices virtue. This inner training makes him unmovable when false friends try to pull him down. His strength does not depend on numbers, but on the unbreakable foundation he has built within himself through solitude. True peace comes from virtue, not crowds. Strong men understand that walking alone with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control is more powerful than walking with false company. Peace is not found in the crowd, but in living in harmony with one's own values. A man surrounded by many companions may still feel restless if those companions do not share his principles. Stoicism teaches that true peace comes from virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. These are treasures no crowd can give, and no false friend can take away. A strong man understands this, and chooses to walk with his principles, even if it means walking alone. When he aligns his life with virtue, he carries his peace with him, like armor against the storms of life. The cheers of others may fade, the presence of friends may vanish, but his inner balance remains. Crowds often demand conformity, asking a man to betray his values for acceptance. Fake friends may push him toward envy, corruption, or weakness. But when he stands alone with his integrity intact, he is freer and more at peace than any man surrounded by flattering voices. To be guided by virtue rather than the noise of the crowd is the highest form of strength. This is why strong men choose loneliness over false company, for in virtue they find a companionship greater than any crowd.